Hello viewers, this is Attorney Naresh Gehi. A pleasant, wonderful morning. So today's topic, can you still apply for political asylum? The answer is yes, you can still apply depending upon your entry into the United States. So the big misconception is that people have been calling me and they've been telling me that I've heard that I cannot apply for asylums anymore. That is wrong. Depending on how you entered the country and which border you entered from. So there are restrictions on some borders, but that does not mean that you cannot apply for asylum. So you may still be eligible to apply for asylum even if you entered late in the country. So some people think that after 1 year you cannot apply for asylum. That is wrong. You may be able to apply depending upon the facts and circumstances of your case. Now, most common thing I get is, Mr. Gehi, well, I just heard this news that Trump has closed asylums. The answer is no, it's not stopped permanently. There are a few restrictions which are in place, like people who have come into the country from the southern border, first have to try. For example, if you're coming in from Mexico, first you have to apply from Mexico. And if you get denied in Mexico, then you have to come in. But how about people who are here on a visitor's visa or come in on a C1D, or if you're coming in through some other border, you may still be eligible to apply. So simple thing is that you came in from the Canadian border, you may still be eligible to apply depending upon the facts and circumstances of your case. So what is happening nowadays is that people are coming in, they really have this fear of persecution that if they go back, they're going to get killed. But someone is giving them this misinformation. Oh, well, Trump has stopped asylums completely. That is an incorrect statement of the law. You are still eligible to apply for asylum depending upon your entry, depending upon a few other factors about your immigration matter. So continue to apply if you feel that you have a fear of persecution in your home country because of your race, your religion, your membership in a social group, or because of your political opinion. So now I want to share some more important news with you. The name of our show is Green Card with Gehi. So remember, Green Card with Gehi is going to be with you every Wednesday at 11:30. Now, what are we going to do on Green Card with Gehi? We listen to your requests. So the good thing is that if you can even send us your questions now, and I have this wonderful Brianna sitting with me, she's going to basically look at the questions and we are going to answer questions for people in any area of immigration law. So people think that we only talk about asylums. We will be answering questions on our live show for you about family-based immigration. We'll also be answering questions about your political asylum. We'll answer questions about your deportations. We'll answer questions about your relatives that you have sponsored. We'll answer questions about your employment-based immigration matters. Example, O visas. You're looking at P visas, H1Bs. Yes, we will be talking about those things too. So start sending us your questions. And the easy way to do it, when the show is live, you all can start sending us your questions. Or remember, info@gehilaw.com, which Brianna will be putting after the show, is one great place for all of you to actually kind of put your questions. So Brianna, why don't you show your wonderful face to our viewers today?
Hi, Facebook family.
So folks, as I said, so let's go back to the topic of asylums. Now, what happens in asylums? There are three important things. One is you have a relative who's been caught and he's been in detention right now. So try to fight his case to try to get him out on a bond, or if not, try to win his case. Doesn't matter which state he is. Second instance is you're here on a B2 visa. And if you have a fear of persecution in your country, consider a political asylum case. And thirdly, you came in on a student visa. Your visa has expired. You can still consider. You crossed the border and came into the country. You may still be eligible. If not, you may be eligible for other forms of relief. So best thing is to basically speak to a good immigration lawyer. It may take some time for you folks to have a meeting with the lawyer and make sure that everything happens properly for you. Now, besides that, there are a few other things that we need to know about, especially when it comes to political asylums. Your preparation in asylum cases is very important. You need to make sure that you have the right documents. You need to make sure that you qualify under Section 208 of the INA, that you are able to express a fear of persecution. And it can be, as I said, because of your race, your religion, your membership in a social group. Now, what happens if you do not qualify for asylum and if you're before an immigration judge? You need to fight a case under withholding of removal or under the US Convention Against Torture. That's a brilliant piece of legislation, and not many lawyers even understand the importance of the US Convention Against Torture, Article 3. What a brilliant piece of treatise. So I believe one should read it, and you can fight before the immigration judge. Fight your case. Judge, even if I have a criminal record, I know I'm not eligible for political asylum, but I want to try my case under CAT, that's Convention Against Torture, US Convention, the United Nations Convention Against Torture, or I want to exercise my relief under withholding of removal. So if you have an asylum case, make sure that you fight it properly and do your very best. Nobody can guarantee results, but there's a saying in English, fortune favors the brave. When the great get going, the going gets great. So this is Attorney Gehi with political asylums. So now there's a new segment which has been added to our Facebook program just because of viewers like you. And you're going to love it. Every day before I leave, we're going to have question and answers from our viewers. So some questions which I got from our viewers. The number one question was, Mr. Gehi, I have applied for political asylum. I have not yet received my date for a USCIS interview. What should I do? You need to follow up on your case. That's number one. Second question is that I am before an immigration judge and I live in another state. Can I hire you as my attorney? Doesn't matter where you are. We handle political asylum cases from all over the United States. That's number two. Number three is that I have an individual hearing before an immigration judge and my lawyer is not replying. You have the right to change your lawyer. Number four was that, Mr. Gehi, I don't have a police report in order to substantiate my case for asylum. So what you need to do in those cases, you need to come up with very strong and compelling evidence to show that even if you do not have a police report, you still qualify for political asylum. Some people say that I cannot get all the documents from my country. Understandable, because I can understand your plight, because it's difficult for you to get documents when you're here, and because of all the political problems or the religious problems you might have had, it becomes extremely difficult to get those things in order. You have to make sure that you put your best foot forward by putting in secondary evidence. For example, you can get country reports, human rights reports, and make sure that you do a fabulous job when you go there. Now, another thing that you need to do when you're going to apply for your initial asylum application, and this is where most people go wrong. They think that, well, I'm getting a deal with a lawyer for $2,000, $1,500. Be careful, because you can have two types of asylum applications in. One, you can just fill up the paperwork, which you don't need a lawyer, and get denied. Anybody can do that. But when you are applying for your asylum, make sure that the lawyer that you retain puts in a lot of work into the application, not only the filling of the form. This is where most people, don't understand, and they get kind of taken away. They get kind of bullied by, some consultants, I would say. Lawyers are very good on the whole, but some consultants have this habit of bullying people by saying, oh, I'm just going to charge you $800, I can do asylum. Be very careful. First thing, the person is not a lawyer. And once if you go before the immigration officer or before the judge, and if he sees something wrong, he can charge you with a fraud. And that's a big issue. And if you get charged with an asylum fraud, then you're looking at some serious consequences. So be very careful when you are applying for your asylum application. So as I said, let me repeat again, bottom line is that you can still apply for asylum. It's not the end of asylums, you're still eligible. Some other questions from our viewers. Mr. Gehi, I married someone who is in a foreign nation. and this person currently lives in the UK. I am a green card holder. How long will it take for my spouse to come here? Good news, approximately 1 year for your spouse to come here. Second question was, Mr. Gehi, I have applied for my brothers and sisters and the priority date is current. What should you do? The answer in this case is you need to start working with the NVC, National Visa Center. Then after that, you need to finish up the consular processing and speak to a qualified attorney because things have changed a lot and you need to finish up your NVC processing. Next question was from an H-1B applicant who said, Mr. Gehi, there's a problem in my case, and the problem is that I'm on an H-1B, but my employer is not paying me and I'm on bench. What should I do? Under the law, it is the duty of the employer to continue to pay you, even if you're on bench. And if you are having a situation wherein your employer is asking you to pay him money under the table, that is a gross and blatant violation of the law, and that is a very serious act. And if you have been taken for a ride by your employer, please contact us and we'll be happy to help you. Another question was that, Mr. Gehi, I'm on a student visa and I'm under the STEM occupation. At this stage, I have an employer who can directly sponsor me for the green card. Is it possible to get a green card without going through the H-1B process? The answer is yes. You can go through it, and what you need to do, immediately speak to a good lawyer, and if the company is ready to sponsor you, the good news is you may not need an H-1 and your employer may be able to sponsor you directly for a green card. So this is Attorney Gehi. As I said, the name of the show, Green Card with Gehi, 11:30 a.m. Your question and answers on this show on Facebook, 11:30 every Wednesday. The instant program is an attorney advertisement. We'll be back again with our viewers. Our phone number is 718-764-6911. We'll be back again with our viewers the following week.